Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dungeon Crawler podcast for June 2015. All right, so this is a new one, guys, but the purpose of this podcast is kind of like a monthly update about the Dungeon Crawler Network, what we're working on, what the members are currently playing, as well as a kind of current game news section where each host will bring one news topic. I brought two because I can. About gaming to a roundtable type discussion. They will present their news and the other co-hosts will comment about it and give a little discussion going back and forth. These topics could be anything concerning gaming, including new hardware, new game releases, game company news, etc., etc. Each month, myself and at most 3 other members of DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com will be doing this show, so make sure you stay tuned. This show will be on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. First, it'll be launched on YouTube because there's a delay between when it goes live and when it actually picked up by iTunes. But so keep your eye out on all of that. For those who do not know who I am, I don't know why you're watching this show. But my name is Aggelos. I'm the founder of Dungeon Crawler Network and lead host for Dungeon Crawler Network podcast, as well as Tales of Tamriel. Joining me this month, co-founder of Dungeon Crawler Network and co-host of Tales of Tamriel, that's Thace. Thace, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm very good. How about you?
I'm wonderful, but I miss you.
Aw, I miss you too.
For those who don't know, she went to visit her parents, so she's not here at the moment. So she's out visiting her mom and her sister. So we are away, and it hurts. So
probably for the last time before the baby's born.
Probably the last. Yeah, that's right. Because you're getting very close. So yeah. So that's where we're at now. So she was so dedicated that she is joining in from her phone. She's awesome.
From my iPad.
Oh, you're doing it from the iPad.
Yeah.
Technology.
Woohoo.
All right. Also joining us this month, that would be Crabby, streamer and guide writer for Dungeon Crawler Network. If you haven't noticed, make sure you check out a lot of his technical tutorials. They are awesome. But how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Amazing. Glad to have you on the show, man. It's been a while since we've been on a podcast together.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back around.
All right. Excellent. We'll talk about that, your work a little later, but
sure.
Yeah, definitely. Crabby's a wonderful asset to our team. Does some awesome stuff. So make sure you check him out as well. Follow him. Finally, down there in the lower corner, that's waving. That's Sonny Black. How are you, Sonny?
Howdy.
Howdy.
Doing wonderful. We get to talk games.
We do get to talk games. All right. You excited to be on the show?
Oh, more than excited. This is going to be a blast.
Excellent.
I'm hyped.
Hyped. Well, before we talk about games, we need to talk about our sponsors. And everything we do over at Dungeon Crawler Network is actually supported by awesome fans just like you. We are the, oh my goodness, what is it? Channel 33 of podcasting here. I don't know. What is it? I don't remember anymore. When I was a kid, I just remember the infomercials where they would take like 2 weeks off to do, telethons. That's us. We're public television. So everything we do is because of you guys, and we want to thank all of our awesome fans over at our Patreon that support us there. But if you're currently not supporting Dungeon Crawler Network and wish to help us out, you can either donate to us directly on our website or by becoming a patron of ours on our Patreon page. You can find the links for both on the bottom of our website, DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com. If you're unable to support us financially, which I understand, there's under no obligation to do so, nor do we expect it. But you still want to help us out, you can do that as well. You want to know how? You can do that by subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels, leaving us a review on iTunes, or best yet, telling friends about us. Because the more people we get to listen, the happier we are, the more we want to produce content. So I do want to thank everyone, even those of you who are currently not doing anything. If you're listening to this show, you're supporting us, and we appreciate it. All right, guys. Host game time. what have you been playing this month? I'm going to go last. But Thaís, how about you go first?
Awesome. Let's see. I have been playing Farmville 2 all the time.
I knew it. I knew it.
The other thing that I play daily is Final Fantasy XIV. Love that game. Very excited about the expansion coming out soon. So, yeah.
Excellent. And when you're feeling up to it, I know you still play ESO with me pretty heavily, and I try to drag you along.
Yes, that is true. You do. You do.
I think your fire for the game has died a little because they haven't introduced race changes yet.
That really does hurt me on the inside. I want to be an Argonian so badly.
Now, are you a vampire yet? Did that ever happen?
Oh, I finished that. I'm a werewolf right now.
Oh, what a shame.
Nice.
What a shame.
Yeah. I didn't see the point in getting rid of it, so
There really is
I'm
no point
still
in getting rid of it.
just a werewolf. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, Thaís, that's awesome. Crabby, sir, what have you been playing this month?
Oh, man. Literally nothing but The Witcher 3. And when I'm not playing that... do you guys remember Cookie Clicker?
Oh, no, not a cookie clicker.
No. It's a Cookie Clicker clone, all right? It's a lot of C's. And it's called Adventure Capitalist, all right? It's on Steam, and it's ridiculously addicting. But, yeah, mainly The Witcher 3, and then I beat it, and I was very upset for a few days. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. Go cry in the corner, I guess.
Yeah.
I understand.
Mm.
All right. Sunny.
Me. Oh my gosh, I am known to be a mega gamer and noob of all. Let's see, I'm playing The Order. I just got that. It's really good. It's a shooter game. But it's kind of a shooter dungeon game. It's kind of fun. Better not... I mean, I knew it was going to be great, but I know that it's low in content, so there's that.
It's a gorgeous-looking game.
It is. It really is. And so it is a good game. Of course, I'm playing Witcher 3. That's the addiction.
Yeah.
Let's see. Handheld, I'm playing Yahtzee Buddies. That's really fun, you know, especially when you get to beat your sister. That's the best part. Shadow of Mordor. Kind of still playing that a little bit. Not like I need to be, because The Witcher is just taking all my time. But, of course, I'm still playing ESO. Just, The Witcher, really, main thing. What are you playing, Ag?
Well, I guess I could say I'm playing The Witcher as well. Because, of course, Witcher just came out. So
much variety.
So much variety in the show. Obviously, I play a lot of The Elder Scrolls Online. Tons of it. Like,
Love it.
More than anything. And with my guild, we actually downed the Serpent Trial first try. So that was fun. I didn't tell you that days yet, but I downed Serpent Trial last night.
Well, congrats, way to go, baby!
That was exciting. I was shaking and everything. It was great. So I play a lot of ESO. I can't say I played a lot of Witcher yet. I'm probably a couple hours into. Well, I probably put about 30 hours into it, but I'm not very far. For those who played the game, I'm not really giving spoilers or anything. I really just made it out of White Orchard, so you get the idea of how far into the game I am, and yet still spend about 30 hours.
You're not in the game, pretty much.
I'm not in the game, and yet I'm still spent about 30
really.
hours.
That's pretty much the tutorial area.
All right, you don't understand my gameplay. Just like in ESO, I log on, I run around, I pick flowers. In Witcher, I log on, I run around, I pick flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot something. He spent half of his time trying to find brothels.
And I found a brothel.
Ooh.
It's there.
I found a brothel in Novigard, and now I just don't leave. It's gonna happen again, like what happened in Witcher 2, where it's just a terrible cycle of I take contracts to earn money, so that I can gamble, so that I can get more money to buy prostitutes in the brothel, and then I spend all my money on the prostitutes, and then I have to go back and like get into bar fights to get money, to gamble, to get more money. It's a vicious cycle.
Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, you can have sex on unicorns now.
On unicorns?
On unicorns?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. On top of them, yeah.
Little ears went up. What?
On top of a unicorn?
Yeah. It gets good.
Wow, something to look forward to in Witcher.
Yep.
I like it. All right.
I like it.
I'm trying to think what else. I've been dabbling ever so much in Lotro, and something that Sonny and I possibly may be announcing next month. We'll see. You'll have to wait and see.
That is old school.
We're not ready to talk about it yet.
Man, am I the only one only playing 2 games? God.
Well, ESO, it takes up the majority of my time. Witcher I've been playing with, but I have been messing around in Lotro. So probably because I just got done listening to, well, I'm not done with, I'm in the last like 20 minutes of Children of Horin again. I know Thais, I read that book almost monthly. But
it's funny you mentioned that, because as soon as you said that, I was thinking to myself, okay, you really need to stop listening to that book.
It's narrated by Christopher Lee. How awesome is that? You can't beat it.
Nothing's better.
No, it's Saruman reading the Children of Horin, and he does an amazing job. And every time I listen to it, it just gets me into wanting to do something in Middle-earth. So,
I listen to an audiobook at least once a month too, but it's kind of different. You ever hear of Death Troopers?
Death Troopers? No.
Basically it's a Star Wars zombie book. I don't know why I listen to it so often.
That is the weirdest fusion I think I've ever heard.
It's so weird, but I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's what the hosts have been doing around Dungeon Crawl, at least the ones that are on the show. So that's awesome. We're going to go into Dungeon Crawler Network news, things that we're doing around the network. For those who don't know, we had a slew of new writers and streamers and everything joining Dungeon Crawler Network over the since we've launched. Obviously, I'm going to pull up my little list here because I know everyone. You know myself, you know Thais. We've been here from the start. Of course, down there in the lower, well, as you're looking at, I guess that would be your right. Yes. I'm sitting here looking at it going, no, it doesn't make any sense. But lower right, we got Sunny over there. She's joined as an article writer and streamer for Dungeon Crawler Network. So you'll probably get to see her around every once in a while. Definitely check her out when she's out streaming. Because I think we were doing some streaming last night just because we could.
Just because we could.
Just because we could at midnight, and I happened to be up, so.
Talking about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, Estelian has joined the crew with us as a guide writer for Dungeon Crawler, as well as he is a permanent co-host on Tales of Tamriel. Awesome guy. He's great. You'll love him. Plus, he's British, so there you go. We also have Avi Optimal. He's been joining our crew as a lore writer as well as a new permanent host on Tales of Tamriel. So, awesome guy, even if he does play Daggerfall Covenant. So,
he's trying to get me to come over
there. Yeah. We also have Aggelos, who joined with us. He's joined us as an article writer for Dungeon Crawler Network. He's also been working on a series called The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim After Action Report. There's 2 chapters up on the site under our library section. Definitely check that out if you're interested. What essentially he's doing is he is converting the game of Skyrim into a novel. So he's been writing it in terms of a narrative, his gameplay, and it's really, really good. And finally, up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, Crabby. Welcome back, Crabby.
Hey.
You probably know Crabby. He actually joined as a host for Tales of Tamriel way back. I think all the way back at episode 10. I think.
Yeah, maybe. I was on the. It might have been early. It might have been like 5.
Were you? Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was on maybe around 10 episodes. I forget how many I was on, but yeah.
You were on a few.
Yeah, I was on a few, and at the time, my interest for ESO had waned pretty quickly, and I kind of
as did with most people during.
Yeah, I stepped back from the game and the podcast and everything, and now I'm back doing other things. Yeah,
absolutely. yeah, so yeah, he's back here. He's a streamer, article writer, and he's been doing a lot of technical videos for us. I think your most popular, just so you know, as I've showed you this before, but our most popular video on our YouTube page is actually Crabby's GemFX installation tutorial.
Oh, for Guild Wars 2, yeah.
For Guild
I was
Wars 2.
surprised. I was surprised because there's usually so many Guild Wars 2 tutorials for everything.
Yeah.
I was surprised how many people saw that one, actually.
Yeah, that's our most popular video. So congrats to Crabby. I already said congrats to you, but I'm going to do it again because that's awesome. So definitely awesome. All right. Next up, those were our new crew members. So make sure you head on to the About Us page on DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com. You can follow everyone at their respective locales. Obviously, for those who don't know, we started out as a solo podcast network, and now we've kind of expanded a little bit and have been branching out into several different avenues, including different Let's Plays for ESO and Guild Wars 2 and some others. All of that's available on our YouTube page and via our streams when we get those going. I already talked about Aggelos' After Action Report, so definitely check that out. It's under the library section. If you go under the library, you should see... actually, I'm going to pull it up just so I know what I'm talking about here. Library, and... oh, go away. Library, and then you will see the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim After Action Report, and you can see both of the things in there that are currently...
Can I just say, if you're a Skyrim fan, this is a must-read.
It is really good. Really, really good.
He's an awesome writer.
Next up is Esteldian has been working insanely hard on all of the 2.0 guides for Update 2, also known as Elder Scrolls Tamriel Unlimited. For all the different skill lines, they should almost all be out. I think he's still working on a couple of the lower weird skills. But they are all out now. You can find them under the library section as well, because a lot of things changed in Update 6 and when they switched over to the 2.0. So definitely check those out, especially if you're a new console gamer who will be coming in. It will give you a good base. He did a really good job with all of that. Finally, we have a workshop series that's already been released, several episodes of that, which is just kind of a tutorial how-to videos for different things within ESO. And, you know, likewise, as I was saying for Crabby, he has several for other games, such as, I think he has 2 for Guild Wars 2, and possibly working on some others, so for other games as well. So we do have a series of tutorial videos out, so check those out. All right, guys. Gaming news time.
Woohoo!
All right, now I get to play with my logo thing here. Let's see if this... Oh, look at that! Oh, it's recording my logo. You guys don't get to see this. You will later. Yeah, I'm excited about that. It worked. It worked. All right. This is obviously a work in progress. I always get better as I go. Gaming news for one thing that I pointed out was the successful Kickstarter of a game called Crowfall from the... I'm trying to remember the name of the developers doing this, but they're pretty big names, guys from Shadowbane and Star Wars Galaxies and Ultima Online.
Cool.
Sonny, you know what their names are, right?
Yeah, Coleman. It's Coleman and the guy
Gordon.
from Bio. Gordon.
Yeah.
Coleman and Gordon.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive. I forget the... again, when I wrote this was a while ago, but their Kickstarter had started, and because we were actually going to do this about a month ago, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we were unable to.
2 months ago.
Was it 2 months ago?
You wanted to do it in April originally.
Oh, but it was the very end of April. Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Time gets away from you. The Kickstarter actually jumped out. I think they wanted 800,000. They hit that within 24 hours.
Was it 800,000?
It was 800,000.
Yeah, they got that really fast.
Within 24 hours, they hit that, and I think they ended at almost 1.7 million. They raised almost. It was almost. I don't think it was 1.7. It almost doubled what they wanted. So that was pretty impressive. Now, for those who don't know, Crowfall is pretty much a straight PvP type game, trying to bring back obviously if you played Shadowbane, you get that kind of open world PvP, and that's what they're kind of going for. Sandbox PvP game. So if that's kind of something you're into, you may want to check it out, crowfall.com. Sonny, you and I were talking about this for a while.
I love the crafting aspect of it. That's a huge draw for me. I'm certain I will play this game because of that, just to at least give it a shot and see what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The crafting seems, different. It seems like everything I've been looking for in a game as far as a crafting,
Yeah, crafting did look very, very neat for a sandbox. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I know, Crabby, you had done a little thing at their...
So, it was funny. When you first told me about this, me and you were sending Twitter messages to each other for like weeks straight, going, "Oh my god, this is so awesome!" And I pledged like, I think 270 initially.
Yeah.
And as time went on, I'm reading more about the game, and I'm liking less about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dropping the pledge down and down. And I eventually settled on $5. There was just... I don't recall everything I disliked about what I was reading, but there was, like, the fact that it's mostly PvP, I wasn't super fond of. What was it? Your gear can break, I think.
Oh, yeah, everything is, like, full drop.
Yeah, that... I mean, I like
drop.
that.
Yeah, if you die, someone can loot your corpse.
I like that in Ultima Online because that's how it was back in the day. But now I don't know if I want to deal with that. And I'm honestly a little weary of MMOs that get kickstarted. I feel like the money's not there to keep a game lasting for so long. But I want to be proven wrong.
The names are there. These guys have put out some of the best games.
Right.
So
I'm gonna say that could be arguable.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Shadowbane, for what it did, I played Shadowbane, and it wasn't all that in a bag of chips.
Right.
Insanely, the premise was awesome, but I don't know if the developers just didn't care. But it was buggy as all get out. It was exploitable to no end. If you were a Templar and what are the Iroquois or whatever, which was a bird race, you could literally fly up into the air and just cast fireballs at people, and no one could touch you. Like, literally, I saw people do that. The only way you could do it is if you were somehow or another were a caster who could drain their stamina so they would fall back down to earth.
Yeah.
But if you were not spec'd into that very specific thing, these guys would just sit up there and fire, and you couldn't do anything.
And you couldn't do anything.
And they never fixed it. It was a mess.
Common is behind that game Wizard 101, which is a very cartoony, more and it's really a fun game. I absolutely, honestly, I love this game, but it's a little more immature. I love that game. It's so fun though, and he was the developer of that. They had to reach a couple of arcs before the art in it got really good, but the artist that was on Wizard 101, he dragged them all over to Crowfall.
Okay.
So if you are interested in seeing any of that, I do have them on my friends list on Twitter, some of the artwork artists, but the art looks just beyond amazing.
The art looks good. Obviously, like a lot of their concepts, I kind of like their lore a little bit, but pure gameplay, as Crabby said, the more I played with it, the more I watched. I honestly think, and I'm probably going to get a little bit of flame from this, and I'm fine with that. You can flame me on this one. I hate their community. Like, if you've been reading their forum...
Crowfall community?
Yeah. It's a heavy PvP community. Oh my goodness, when they released information about their Eternal Kingdoms, which was the non-PvP unless you... Like, everyone gets an Eternal Kingdom.
Oh, Care Bears!
Exactly! Every 3 seconds, Care Bear, take him out of the... I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
They actually... I think they even had to step in and went, guys, listen. I understand rivalry. We like that, but this is getting on harassment now.
Yeah.
I think the Eternal Kingdoms is the biggest draw for that game to me.
Oh,
personally.
to me too. Yeah, that was something I was like, oh, that's. But I'm a generally PvE player, and that kind of crushed all that. Thais has been quiet, but I know she didn't really actively follow Crowfall. I know you're.
Oh no, there's nothing about this game that interests me whatsoever.
No,
Nothing.
I think I was talking to you about this, and I was telling you about it. You're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, but it's mostly PvP, and you're just instantly like, nope.
Yeah, immediately like, oh, nope. No,
Nope.
not for me.
Nope.
Nope.
And that's
Giant-
when I kind of start waning away too. It's like, but I want to try it because I want to do the crafting.
It's buy to play, and that's what they're going. There's an optional subscription, obviously, but they are going as of right now with a buy to play model. So you can always pick it up and go from there.
Kickstarted MMO with a buy-to-play model and server overhead, and
Let's put it this way. I think they've already reached out, and if I might be thinking wrong on this one, so I may be incorrect. So maybe I'm not even gonna say it because I don't know for sure. But
you think they got a publisher behind them?
I think they might have went out. See, I've been reading so much MMO news. I'm not really sure anymore if it was Crowfall, but I think they went and got some sort of investment, like sold some shares to get different investments.
They totally did. That's the way Coleman works.
Yeah.
Gordon was the president of BioWare. Why would he have stepped down from BioWare?
So
I mean, well, when you get a game that has constant overhead and constant development, you really need money. You need a lot of money.
Yeah, but with a PvP game, there's not a lot of development overhead. If that's all they're working on, it's a PvP sandbox. If you've ever played a PvP sandbox, development is literally nothing. Because once the game's out, they just let players make their own content.
I mean, I guess Ultima Online was almost a PvP sandbox game, which I played for a solid...
Well, here's the thing. Ultima Online had open PvP, but it discouraged it through their karma system.
True.
This game is all about PvP, where it actually, you can't get anything if you don't PvP.
Right.
Okay, that's true.
Like, you could get PK'd and murdered in Ultima Online, but that person then got flagged as a murderer, you know?
Right.
And then,
I actually remember way back when I killed like 30 people and I had to play in-game for
like 8 hours?
600 hours.
600 hours
Yes.
as a red player.
And I could only go to like, what was it, Buccaneer's Den or something, and I couldn't do anything, and I just had to sit there and wait.
Because if you got killed, you got like your stats lowered, like everything you had leveled up gets lowered. Yeah, like there were serious penalties for PKing. You could if you wanted to play a bad person, but there was penalties for doing so.
So explain something to me on Crowfall. What does it mean when it says that the world will be very interactive as to your gameplay? So does that mean like if I chop down a tree...
the world's destructible, yeah.
It is.
But again, other than the Eternal Kingdoms, it's almost like a lobby game. Because how they described it is the Eternal Kingdoms is where your home is. Everyone gets one. Which this is the part that interests me about the game, being able to create your own little kingdom. You get to place the plots and do all that. That's kind of neat. It's kind of like a City Skylines, but medieval.
It's kind of like an awesome Farmville, right, Thais? Really awesome
Farmville. Keep mentioning Farmville. I want to get the awareness out of how awesome this game is.
I want to hear.
Oh, I'm gonna go back. A little bit of gaming news. Farmville podcast coming up. No, just kidding.
Coming your way.
I'll be the main host.
She's gonna be the main host of the Farmville podcast. Tales of Farmville 2. There you go.
Tales of Farmville.
Oh my god, yes. Can that be the working title?
I don't even know what to say anymore. Show's over. Bye, guys.
Farmville wins.
That part interests me about the Eternal Kingdoms. But everything else, you go into these different bands, as they say. And lore-wise, how they're doing this is the world... You are what they call a crow, which is a soul pulled up from the gods and resurrected to fight in an eternal battle in favor of the gods. So that's what you do. And by doing so, instead of the gods fighting together, they're sending their champions, that's the players, into these dying worlds. And you fight over it, and whoever wins gets all the stuff.
Okay.
But each world, as they say, closer to the dregs or closer to the shadow. The shadow is this giant undeath, or the hunger, not the shadow. The hunger, giant undeath at the center of the universe that's just eating all these planets. The closer you get to it, the more dangerous in terms mechanic-wise it goes. The closest ring is like 100%. You lose all your stuff. If you don't win the campaign, you can't bring anything out. It's the most... And each step closer to the Eternal Kingdoms is a little less hardcore, meaning that like when you go in and you're salvaging and you're farming stuff, you put it into a trade embargo, which gets sent to your Eternal Kingdoms. Even if you lose in the higher bands, you still get something. You may not get everything, but you get something. Like say you got 100 ore, you could bring back 30 of it if you lose. Now, if you win, you get 100. But so that's how they're trying to do this. But the worlds are completely destructible because they eventually die. So when the campaign's over, that server essentially gets shut off and never played again. It gets rebooted, but
don't they use a voxel system?
Yes.
So yeah, pretty much everything will be able to like.
Yeah, they use.
Do you know what voxels are, Sonny?
I don't.
So like, imagine a game made completely out of Legos.
That's prettier Minecraft.
Like you throw a rock at something and it just explodes into Legos. It's kind of like that, but they're not.
EverQuest
square.
Next is using voxels.
Yeah.
As well.
Mm-hmm. It's like a highly destructible.
Ever comes out.
Yeah. It's like a highly destructible or buildable, environment.
Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they allow you to destroy everything.
Well, so why is everybody wanting to kill each other? Why can't we just work together against this god?
Because
it's a PvP game.
Because it's a PvP game.
Yeah.
And we just can't get along.
We hate each other.
Yeah.
That's my problem with PvP. I can't handle that everyone hate everybody else. I just want everyone to get along.
Quiet little Argonian.
Hey, I play an Argonian too.
I know.
gross.
All right. That's all we're going to talk about for Crowfall for now. I'm going to present my final news topic. I did two this month because I wanted to. As you see from the logo in the center, Elder Scrolls Online launches with its consoles.
Yes.
It's the 5th right now. In 4 days is the console launch of the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited. Obviously, we do another podcast about that called Tales of Tamriel. We've been doing it for a while. We obviously love the game. So console players, you'll finally get to actually jump in. What do you guys think about consoles for ESO?
Are they separate from the PC players?
They are.
Oh, good. I don't want those filthy console players in my PC realm.
I mean, if they weren't separated, they'd be really easy to kill in PvP because the controller. No, yeah. I mean, I kind of got an opinion.
Haters.
Hear that, Sonny?
Haters.
Quiet. I'm
Hater.
going to change your name real quick to Console Peasant.
Peasant.
Wow.
I knew it. I knew you were going to call me peasant.
Just kidding. We love you, console fans. We do. Just do not get me into whether or not your console can ever keep up with my PC because it can't.
Well, I agree with you, and I play. I keep wanting to call it Tales. I play ESO on both, or I'm going to play it on both. So
yeah. Well, yeah. I did the character copy too for PS4. I don't even have PS4, but if I ever get one, it was $20 and they copied my characters, so I figured, hey, what the heck.
You totally need to get one. We need to start a Get Ag a PS4 campaign.
Yeah, I mean you can get a PS4 so you can play.
I like what you did there. So you can.
No, I mean
PS4 for new Final Fantasy games.
I get a PS4 for Netflix.
I have a PS4 and I don't regret it, but I mean, no, you know what? Though, honestly, I don't play ES. I haven't played ESO in a long time, but I keep track of it, and you know why I'm happy the console version's coming out? Because I'm curious what new features they're going to add anyway. I don't care about the console.
I care about the consoles.
Yeah, I care about the new content coming up that I'm curious about.
We're finally going to get rid of our content gap for the past 6 months. Because...
Right, that's what excites me the most, even though I don't even play. I just want to know.
Yeah, it's for those who don't know, ESO has been in a very big content gap since Update 6, which was almost 6 months ago, or a little older than that. because they started announcing console, which we all knew they were working on it. But since they announced it, they pretty much said, we're not doing any new content. We'll do bug fixes, but we're not doing any new content until consoles is released and, I quote, settles down. So if console has a rocky launch, we could be seeing 8-9 months till new content.
I mean, they might drop the subscription. Oh, never mind.
Yes, ESO is buy to play, so I still have the subscription because, to be honest, why wouldn't you?
How many crowns do you get a month?
1,500, which is really funny, because for $14.99, which is the subscription, to buy 1,500 crowns is how much? $14.99. But if you subscribe, you also get a 10% bonus to experience, to gold, to inspiration gain, and research times. Like, you get bonuses for subbing.
Right.
You actually get all these different bonuses for subbing, and you get the same amount of crowns as if you just paid for them.
Yeah.
Now, you know what astonishes me about that? Those bonuses for subscription. I played SWTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic, maybe about 2 months ago, and I'm looking at the subscription benefits, and it's like, subscription benefits, extra action bars. You can wear epic gear,
I would
and I'm
subscribe
like,
for extra action bars.
I mean, I did, but at the same time, I'm like, shouldn't this just be in the game? I was like, shouldn't I just have the UI in the game without having to pay for it?
Right.
You know, so ESO's subscription, I think, is good.
It is, because really, you get the buy-to-plays, you get the exact same game as a sub, but subbing, you get the same amount of... See, like, this is the thing, Sonny, you and I will talk about this a little later. I was looking at subbing for Lotro,
right?
But you only get like 500 turbine points, which is like $3 or something dumb. But it doesn't add up to the same thing. Like, you get all these bonuses for subbing, as well as gaining access to all the DLC without having to pay for it, as long as you're subbed, and you get bonuses. I don't see why people wouldn't sub.
Right. I don't either. It doesn't make any sense not to sub.
I mean, if you're not playing it that much, I understand. You don't need bonuses. But if you're actively playing it, you get the same amount of credit. It's not like Lotro where you sub, you only get 500, which is only like $7 or something like that in real money. You're getting an equal amount of crowns for what you would pay for crowns if you didn't sub, plus all the bonuses.
Well, and here's my fear is, when they come out with that content that's going to be, let's see, if they came out with a massive DLC, let's say it's going to be 25,000 crowns, and you haven't been subbing or saving up for it to buy it permanently.
It's $25, yeah.
If
you're subbed, you don't even have to.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's just
gain access. This is a subscription game where, to be subbed, which is why it's growing on me more and more, because it's not like Lotro. It's not like what Crabby said with SWTOR. It's a subscription game where you don't have to pay the subscription, but if you pay the subscription, it's like a normal subscription game. You get all the crowns so you could buy in the crown store for cosmetics, but you get everything else anyway.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the way they did it.
For having to go buy to play to honestly, I believe this is something we'll talk about with the consoles. I think they would have stayed sub if they didn't care about consoles. I think the reason why they went buy to play is because it's a model that consoles are used to with, like, Skyrim. They like buying the game and then buying DLC when it comes out. They were fine with that. I mean, $30 for Dragonborn? Huh? Everyone bought it.
Yeah, but I mean, then you got Final Fantasy XIV, which is on consoles, and it's subscription-based.
I agree. I do agree with that one. But Final Fantasy XIV is a little... they have a very large... The thing is, they have a very large... They're probably, the second largest MMO out there that's sub.
Right.
They have, almost 4 million people playing it.
Which is insane. I can't believe that.
Most of them are probably Japanese. I think the entire nation of Japan plays Final Fantasy XIV just because it's...
And why wouldn't they? It's
you know what's funny is...
game.
I played Warcraft when the most recent expansion came out, and I logged into Warcraft as a free account thing or whatever yesterday. I look in my guild. There's no one online, and I look at the guild note. We're all playing Final Fantasy right now. We might come back when 6.2 comes out. And I'm like, I guess everyone's playing Final Fantasy. Like, well, I mean, I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. That's actually a perfect segue, Crabby. It's like we even practiced it, but we didn't.
Yeah. I'm so good at this.
New logo! Yay! Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, Heavensword. Thais.
Oh, that's me. Yay!
That is you.
Don't forget Farmville too.
And Farmville.
Alright, and Farmville too. Well, I guess I'll get like the technical stuff out of the way. The Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward pre-order is still up. The game officially launches on the 23rd of June, and early access starts June. Oh no, wait, no. You can buy it on June 23rd, and early access starts on June 19th, which I already pre-ordered the physical collector's edition, and I will be in the early access, so I can play it
Which is
early.
good,
Yay!
because by launch you may have a kid.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit of playtime in. I've already been offered all kinds of, raid spots, but, I had to turn them down because I might have a tiny little bundle of joy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm the same
another
way.
cat?
Because I've wanted to get into more raiding and stuff like that myself, like an ESO, but I'm waiting until I find out how much time I'm going to have.
I mean, I think you could handle a child, 2 podcasts, and raiding 7 hours a day, and working. I think you're fine.
I told Thais I want to get one of those little, like, snuggy things, and then I can raid, and he can be sitting right here.
Yeah.
And,
the
he start
baby
crying, I'll
sling.
kiss him on the head, and be like, no.
We do need to order those baby slings.
Yeah, we do, because I will. I'll sit here and podcast with a baby sleeping right here. I don't care.
Oh, that'd be freaking awesome.
I told you, all the ladies will love me.
You gotta do that. Bringing them up right.
All right, let me continue here. I had like this whole speech going here. With Heavensward, the expansion is actually bigger than when the game originally launched. They are adding so many new areas, 3 new classes. The lore is going to be just absolutely insane. So many things happened at the end of the original storyline that the video itself took, I don't know, about an hour, 2 hours to watch everything, and I was in tears. The person I was playing with at the time, they were in tears, and it was really epic. So I cannot wait for this expansion to drop. I don't think I've ever been so excited for a game in my entire life.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So what are you so excited for about it?
Play Dragoon.
Wow, no. I wish Dragoons would just be removed from the game. They need to be removed from the game.
Did they make Dragoons not require 75 buttons to play yet?
No, they actually, I think, I was listening to a different podcast. Thais can back me up on this one. They've actually added a bunch of combos.
That's what they needed.
Yeah, yeah. I think when I was playing, I played a Dragoon, and I think my rotation, I was telling Thais, was like, what was it, 17 buttons or something like that?
That may be true that they added buttons, but they got rid of the positional requirements for Dragoons. So now Dragoons can stand anywhere and just, face roll the keyboard with their quote-unquote rotation.
Can I mention one thing about that? They did remove they removed half of it, not all of it. Like, I actually didn't know this till I was listening to Sequence Break. For anyone I listen to a lot of podcasts. The only reason why, if everyone's watching, I'm touching my nose in the video a lot, it's because my cat rubbed up against and they leave fur everywhere. I didn't do coke, I promise.
Sure, we buy that.
Wow.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. People are gonna be watching, going, "Did he go do coke or something?" Because he keeps.
Unfortunately, life is not
There's
that.
white powder everywhere. I don't get it.
Now she's biting me. The positional requirement was removed, like, before, like, it would break your entire chain, because, like, they would chain together. They don't, but they actually have a preferred position that if you're not, like, I was trying to remember one of them, like a heavy thrust or something for them, that added a piercing damage debuff and a buff to the player. You only get one of those if you're not in the exact position. You can do it anywhere, but you don't get the full benefit unless you're. But they tried to make it so that it wouldn't break your chain if you missed it. So there's still some positional, but not as much, because you can get away with not doing it. I only
Yeah,
found that out like yesterday.
The Dragoons still pretty much only DPS the floor on their back, though.
Now, I was listening to Sequence Break, and they were saying how the thing with Dragoons is Dragoons had a bad name because of the bad players who play them. But when there's a good Dragoon, they blow people out of the water.
I've never met one, so I wouldn't know.
Get off the show.
Now, Dice, I have a question about the expansion. What are they adding any like major like systems to the game with the expansion?
They are adding flying.
Everywhere?
Mouse can now fly. No, not everywhere. Only in the new expansion areas, which are quite large.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Go ahead.
The areas that they are adding are just gigantic. And no matter where you are, if you just decide to like jump off of a cliff, you automatically will start flying.
Is it gliding or is it flying?
No, it's flying. You now fly.
Oh, okay.
Hey, babe, I heard something. There's a quest for the fat chocobo that you replace the Gessel green with a thing of cake, and that's what makes him fly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Again, thank you, Sequence Break.
That's amazing. So
yeah,
they're
fat
adding
chocobo
new
gets a
flying
piece of cake
mounts
hanging in front of his face, and that's what makes him fly. Is that little wings?
I don't see how that's possible. That's like mind-blowing. Kind of like how a bee can fly. Its body is so big and its wings are so tiny. How can a fat chocobo fly?
Those things are...
So you can tell me this. There's the zones they're adding it. They're expanding on Kurthis, right?
Well, they are now opening up to Ishgard. They are adding Javanya, since,
Oh, yeah, that's...
people have been fighting them forever.
Yeah.
And they're adding Abalthea, which is pretty much like a mountains in the sky. Like that's going to be like the main region where you can just jump and you're flying.
Didn't they add the floating continent from 6?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know Final Fantasy XIV is just an amalgamation of like everything else. Like they have their own lore, but they like throwing things in from other games. Like the whole Crystal Tower was from like 3. So is World of Darkness, and all of those things are from other Final Fantasy games. Like they just like to mix it in there.
But that's what makes the game so amazing, that they bring back these elements that you know already, but they make them better. They improve on them, and then you just wind up falling in love with them all over again.
Yeah, I think that's Final Fantasy's whole thing was... Yeah. Other than 1. 1 was the only one that was completely different. Everyone else, they started adding the tropes that that they bring back, so it's just familiar enough that you're like, casting Cure, I'm casting Fire 1, 2, 3, Fire Gun. It's just things you like. The world's completely different, but they add enough that it reminds you of it.
I love playing a black mage. You know what got me the most with that game was the sound effects are spot on. Like, are perfect. I hear those sound effects and I think Final Fantasy. That's it.
It was Now, I played Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XIV original. It was
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Realm Reborn is amazing. Now, again, for anyone who knows me, I will say this. I played 14 for a while till ESO came out, and then I cut it. Mm-hmm. My main reason is I like dark fantasy. This is all personal preference. I like dark fantasy. I think Final Fantasy XIV is too cutesy. With that being said...
Oh, man.
I know this is good. I think it's too cutesy. And that kind of gets to me. But that's me personally. As a game, it is probably one of the best MMOs out there. Like, mechanic-wise, gameplay-wise, there are just so many good things. Like, I've talked about on Tales, things like I want their crafting system for furniture in ESO when they introduce housing. Like, there's a lot. Like, Final Fantasy XIV, if you like the cutesy or that obviously Japanese style game.
Oh my God, Egg, you're killing me here.
Hey, it's still good. You have to know this going into it.
It's not cutesy. If you want cutesy, go look at MapleStory. That's cutesy.
It's cutesy. When you're doing a quest for the Thieves Guild and there's a group of pirates called the Dante something or another and they have hearts on their cheeks, that's cutesy.
I mean, my max level black mage, which was Lalafell, is that what they're called?
Yeah, Lalafell.
Yeah. He was pretty damn cute, but he was awesome. awesome.
Any game with Lalafels is too cutesy. No, it is. It is obviously a Japanese game, and if you
I would never call it cutesy. I would call it fun. There's a lot of bright colors. The graphics are amazing, and if you haven't played through the whole storyline to see the last 2 hours of cinematics, if you were to watch those last 2 hours of cinematics, you would never call it cutesy again.
Oh, I would. Well, I wouldn't. Maybe not the cinematics, because when I played through the original 14 up until like the taking out of Gaius and all that, an Ultima weapon. Oh, that was awesome. It was like, it got you pumped. There are some pretty intense moments, but there's just certain things that are cutesy, especially when you look at little bouncing sheep that are giant fluff balls. There's
there are those.
The fluff, yeah. What about the one scene with the fluff or whatever it is, where they take the... No, there's a lot of cute things in it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. I enjoy it.
Yeah. If you like it, that's good. And that's what I'm saying. If you like that kind of thing, it's an amazing game. I would hands down recommend Final Fantasy XIV. Just be like, yeah, no, do it.
What's the subscription fee now?
There's
I'm playing it.
Thais, why don't you tell us?
I think it's $12.99. I think is what I pay for the entry level.
Yeah.
And then there's one that's you get one character, which is all you need. You don't need any alts because everything can be done on one character. But
and I love that.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But if you want to go with more character slots, I think it's $15.99.
Yeah, it's a standard subscription fee for more. But yeah, you can only have one character per server and only like 8 servers total, which if you're doing the entry, so it's cheaper. But you can do everything. Like, every job has its own level. You switch to a warrior, you're level 1. You switch to white mage, you're level 50. You know, like, and they all have their own gear. It's neat to be able to do that, and I enjoyed that. Some things I would probably change is questing. With Final Fantasy, which is something I'd like to see them improve, would be the multiple character experience, because you do all the questing on your first playthrough. There's no quest other than the dailies. What are they called, babe?
But that would be too easy, though. Like, if you were able to complete every single quest on every single job, it's too easy.
Well, what's the difference of that or spamming the whatever the daily things are? That's what I was asking. What are those called?
On the dynamic events, fates.
Talking about the fates?
No, not the fates. The fate grinding is one of the things. No, it's like you get 6 of them a day.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I have no idea what you're thinking of.
You play it all the time. You get 6 of them a day. You normally use them to spam crafting, but they do have... What are they called? They're the little cards that...
Yeah.
Oh, the guild levs?
Guild levs.
Something?
Yeah. Lev quest. I'm very
it.
disappointed in you. Crabby doesn't even play anymore.
But because you don't get 6 a day. You can do, I think you get 99 allowances for levs.
Yeah, but you only get 6 a day.
No, you don't. You can go anywhere you want and do 99 levs in a day.
Wow.
Levs?
She would know.
I think you need not unless they change something.
She would know wherever she's at.
Unless
Sonny's like, I have no idea where they are.
You only
But
get
she would
6 a
know.
day.
Because I would use as many as I could to level up my crafting, and I would use like 50 in a day.
Yeah, but if you don't do them, you get 6. That's what I'm saying. You get 6 every day.
And you get 6.
You don't have, yeah.
You get 6
they
a
cap
day,
out at
but
100 or something like that. But
yeah.
But if you use all 100, the
99
next day
a
you
day.
don't have 100. You'd have 6, and if you don't do it, then it's adding.
But that's
Okay.
not 6 a day.
Okay.
I kind of have a general Final Fantasy question. If I didn't like or don't have the time to raid, what in Final Fantasy XIV would make me want to play it?
Good
Is there
question.
anything? I guess
Everything else?
like what the, like I don't want to raid, but I'm gonna go do what?
You can do your sightseeing log, which lets you look at how beautiful
But that's a
the
one-time
game
thing,
is.
though.
You can do. It is, but there's 80 of them, and they're adding more. If you can't raid, you can do primal fights, which come in like
great.
easy, normal, and hard. It's one boss though. It's only one, so it doesn't take very long to be able to complete a primal. You were just so against me on this.
No, it was a good question. Well, I'm sitting here thinking about what would you do? I mean, if you're into crafting.
I'm asking. The only reason I'm asking is I really want to play Final Fantasy XIV again, but I don't have the. I'll say I don't have the drive or the willpower to schedule things in it anymore. And I want to play, but I'm looking for an excuse to play. Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
convince Crabby to play. There you go.
If you can't get a raid team, there's always Party Finder, which means that you don't have to have a set schedule. You can look in Party Finder, see if anything's up, or create your own Party Finder, and then
do they have a raid finder type thing?
Yeah,
the Party Finder. Yeah.
It's like a bulletin board where you look at it, it goes, they have the dungeon list and they go, oh, we need someone of eye level X doing this. Yeah, no, I like their raid finder system. It's really.
But they also have a duty finder, which is a random dungeon, primal, or raid room.
I will say this, Crabby, and Thace, you can tell me this is one as well. Whenever you do a random like that, you never know what you're going to get.
That is true, but dungeons, obviously
dungeons are easy. Dungeons you can do.
Certain primals you can complete, but top tier raids and the newest quote unquote primals, you definitely don't want to queue in Duty Finder.
Yeah, like Titan when we were doing it.
I remember I got to max level and I did Titan on normal or whatever, and I absolutely loved that fight. Like the music and everything in that fight was awesome, and that was the furthest I got, I guess, in endgame type stuff, and I want to play it again. I'm just trying to convince myself to play it.
You can farm for the special mounts, so if you still want to do those hard fights, you can do the primals.
Okay.
And and each one drops a special pony, and that's what I've been doing.
If you could.
Now, is there housing in the game?
Yeah.
Yes, there is, and it's amazing. It's a great housing system.
So, what could you compare to any other game's housing system?
Have you played WildStar?
Yes. It's like WildStar's housing?
Well, no. I would actually say it's closer to Rifts. You get the item, and you can drop the item in your house. Unfortunately, you can't resize it.
You can't?
Okay.
You can turn it. I guess you could turn it.
You can turn it, but you can't make any object bigger or smaller.
Right.
Now, is there, usefulness to the housing? Like, if I place this, I'll get something, or is it all cosmetic?
They added food, which can give you buffs, but I think the food will only sit on your table for 30 minutes.
I think it's mostly cosmetic.
Yeah, I think I might check it out again. I think this weekend I'm going to download it and check it out again.
Yeah,
it's definitely fun, and it allows you to get in. I like she said, the primals. It's still a raid, but it's quicker.
Yeah,
but and you can. Like you said, if you don't want to schedule anything, you log on, you look the Party Finder, you may get a good group. And I mean, let's just say I've had better experiences with Final Fantasy's Party Finder than pretty much any other game's type of raid finder.
Right.
Now again, you could get your jerks and whatnot, but I will say one thing about Final Fantasy: their GMs are pretty good about cracking down on jerks.
That's good.
I mean, I reported someone for being they were cursing everyone out, because they wanted an item, and I wouldn't leave the dungeon. So they were sitting there just cursing me out, so I recorded it, and I reported them, and within 20 minutes, a GM got a hold of me, wanted to see the video. Everything. He was not happy.
Nice.
I think I'm going to check it out again this weekend or next week or something. I haven't been playing any MMO. I quit Warcraft 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and I haven't done anything. So I don't know. Maybe I will.
You're not going to go back to ESO?
I don't know. I'm so I have no one to play any games with right now, and I need at least a friend to play a game with.
Right.
So I mean,
that always is the hard part. I'm suffering from that in ESO.
Yeah.
Because when Thais is not feeling good, I shouldn't say that. I have some really good people who bring me on different things, and like I said, I got Serpent down the other night thanks to Dreadlords.
You have.
But as for people I log on and they're like, hey, let's do done. Like me doing the daily pledge is a mess because if I don't find it in zone chat, finding we have really good people in our guild, the Dungeon Crawler Network Guild, but we're of all varying levels. Finding people who are VR14 who want to do gold pledge is kind of tough. So, yeah. All right.
So wait. She was going to tell us a little about Farmville.
Oh no.
No.
Why'd you have to instigate? Why'd you have to instigate?
Oh my gosh.
I want to hear. Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Well, I enjoy Farmville 2 a lot. Farmville lags. Farmville 2 has the moving graphics, the really cute animals. They're always adding new things to the game, and whenever they do, they always go over really well. Now, every single group that I'm in for Farmville's always complaining. I've never had a complaint. I think that they're just cranky at the world. I've never had a problem. I've been playing the same farm on my gaming Facebook account for, 3 years now? I think.
I'm editing all of this out. You forget I'm the one who's producing and editing this entire thing.
Well, she had a question. Yeah. I really do enjoy it. I love my farm. I check it multiple times a day.
I'm going to edit little devil horns on Sunny for this. Little mustache the entire time. Yeah, unibrow.
I used to be an addict, but I haven't played it in years, so I don't know. Maybe I'll come back.
They made crafting easier, much easier. They made the county fair so much easier.
Is this really?
No,
real
no, we're moving on.
I mean, okay.
I'm cutting this. I'm sorry, I cannot, in all good conscience, allow this to happen. Moving on to the next game, and this is Sunny's turn. And Sunny, if you do Farmville again, that's it. Just boot you. Dragon Age
Inquisition. So I'm going to talk about the MMO side of it, not the new updated Jaws of Hakkun. I'm going to talk about the updated Dragon Slayer and the new store that they have with the new they have all kinds of new gear on the MMO side of it. If you haven't tried that side of Dragon Age, you got to give it a try. It is the most fun I have on an MMO with my headset console peasant. Console peasant. It is the most fun because instead of going with PvP, BioWare decided to go with a group dungeon where you are doing like a raid.
Okay.
So you can choose the dungeons. I mean, most people know what you're doing and what I'm talking about anyway. So they added what is fantastic. They added the new dragon boss. What everybody wanted. That was fun. Yeah, demons. All those spawn demons. Oh my gosh, they drive us crazy. You just said that. That was the touch word. Those demons, they spawn. So on the MMO side of it, it's just awesome. It was wickedly received, this part of it, because we've been waiting on it. I feel like that they waited a little too long to release this.
How long did this just come out?
It 3 weeks ago, a few weeks ago. Yeah,
playing on Witcher 3,
Yeah, you're right, exactly. The timing of it was definitely, because of other game releases and trying to hold their community. I'm sure it has to do with ESO and other things of that nature coming out. But anyway, it's still wickedly received because we have been dying for this upgrade. Because I put down Dragon Age for a long time. Even though the MMO side of it does keep me coming back. So on this side, we meet a lot of new bosses. So we have a troll we never had. We have several wolves. We have the dragon, which you can choose. If you're the leader of the group, you can choose between a fire, ice, or shock dragon. Let's see, what's some other things that are in there. Oh yeah, so we have 3 new characters that you can craft to open up.
Is Isabella back?
Isabella's back. She's back.
My girlfriend.
She is so funny. Her banter is. Do you play it?
I haven't played multiplayer in forever, but
Okay,
I have played the game.
But you have played it, the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know the banter? You know the banter when you're in there.
Yeah.
Okay, they have upped that by 1,000,000, and it is freaking hilarious. And Isabella is the best. She is just like, she's so funny because she talks about her epic boots, and she knows you're looking at them. And I mean, she's it's so funny, man. It's just, it's great. I'm absolutely having the best time. I can tell you some of the best times I've ever had in an MMO as far as laughing, as far as just a darn good time, is Dragon Age Inquisition, the MMO side of it. Now, on the adventure side of it, there's just too much there to, get into right now. And, I know that those downloads are pretty awesome. Have you played them, Crabby?
The single player DLC?
Yeah, the Jaws of Pacoon.
I bought it, but I haven't played it yet.
So you bought it, but you haven't played it. What do you think of the MMO side of it?
I haven't played the multiplayer since before the new stuff came out a few weeks ago. But I mean, it was something I liked to like. I would just open the game up for half an hour, do a few mission routines or whatever they call them, missions, and I would just bum around and I would try to upgrade my gear and stuff. I enjoyed it actually. That's something I wouldn't mind popping back into every once in a while doing. Oh,
it is definitely fun. You playing on PC, Master Race.
Yeah. Now, have you done any dragon fights yet?
Yes.
Now, obviously in single player, every dragon you can attack its head, its front leg, its left leg. Can you do all that in multiplayer too?
Yeah.
Now,
and it'll tell you like where each one has a different weak spot, and it'll kind of tell you zone in on it.
Because I'm curious how the dragon fights in multiplayer go, because I know in single player I do the tactical view and I pause it and everything, so it's just going to be a mess in the multiplayer side.
Actually, it's not though, because it gives you a little star thing that kind of shows you where the weakness is on the dragon.
Okay.
So you just know, okay, let's go for his right foot is hurt, or there's something I think like with the shock dragons. You need an elementalist to use a spirit ability to bring him down. So there's certain little things that you gotta kind of get figured out. But I think my second go round, I was with a group when we mission accomplished. Now don't get me wrong, mission failed after that 5 times.
Now, what kind of rewards do you get when you finish a dragon fight?
Okay, you are getting a ton. I got a witch's wand with 99 DPS. So if you know anything on the MMO side, I think the highest that you can get, and that's with crafting a grip, adding a ruin, and even adding a knife or blade to the end. I think the highest I ever got was like 78. Well, I received a 99 DPS with no addition, no upgrade.
Oh wow!
So you're getting some hardcore rewards from the dragon battle. So they're worth it. It's a fun game. It's one not to be forgotten. It won the awards last year for a reason. It's easy for us to kind of forget about it because all these great games came out right now. But Dragon Age is still there. And I think it'll stand the test of time. I recommend, if you're looking to do something right now, go play that for a little while. If you're,
the Dragon Age universe has always been one of my favorite universes to play games in. I've loved that universe of like the Templars and the mages and the Blight and everything. I think it's a great place to be, and that's definitely not a game that'll just. I don't think it'll just fade away. I mean, I think it's. the Fade. No, it's a great universe to play in, though.
The lore is awesome. I love reading, or, I love the lore. I love the Templars, and I love it, love it, love it. Absolutely. Are you, did you finish the adventure side, the single player?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Nice, nice. And what level were you when you finished it?
My first playthrough, I played it on normal, and I got to a point where I was exploring every zone, and then I got to a point where I just wanted to finish the game. So I skipped a lot of those extra zones, and I think I beat the game on normal at level, what was it, like 18, without choosing a specialization.
Wow.
And I'm in the middle of a playthrough now where I'm like level 20, and I think I chose Rift Mage, and I'm not even anywhere near the end of the game. So I'm taking it really slow this time around.
Yeah, it's worth it. The world is beautiful. There's so many stories and quests that are just great. And, how you play the map is very important. The strategy of the game is just like the game of strategy, That the war table, that part is really fun.
I really like the war table stuff, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's always nice playing a game where you feel like you got some sense of progression when you're not playing it.
Yeah.
Like you're not there playing it, but these missions are still going,
Right. Yeah, so I know when I come back to it, I'm going to have that done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Age is definitely a game not to be forgotten about right now in the midst of all of the hype of, what do we have? We probably have 5 or 6 new major game releases and DLCs, and, just Dragon Age is not to be overlooked. The MMO side of it for me was always just mega fun. I'll sit up till 3 o'clock in the morning with my headset on.
We were up pretty late last night playing it.
I know. It's so easy to do. You just get lost. Everybody's having fun. They're not all pinchy like PvP players. Because you're working together. PvP players, anytime I've ever done headset group gaming with other games, like, I don't know, shooter games or whatever, they're pinchy. They're crabby. Sorry, Crabby. I found that to be the opposite on Dragon Age Inquisition, the multiplayer side. So I've really enjoyed it. I enjoy having new content. I look forward to more dungeon crawling on the MMO side.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of, and I know Thais and we haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition, so we're going to move right on from this one.
Yeah.
You guys covered that really great. But we were talking about the MMO release, which does sound like it brings a lot of life and longevity to the game for a single-player game that you finish. Multiplayer sounds great. We were talking about it being a little too late, and the reason why we think it's going to be a little too late is Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Crabby.
Now, I have a super random question to start this topic off. Has anybody ever played a game that you just got so emotionally attached to
Final Fantasy VIII.
That you actually felt upset, happy, or whatever with for a day or two after playing it?
Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah.
Pretty much every game I've ever played,
Yeah.
I developed some
Pretty
type
much
of
any
emotional
movie,
attachment to.
Any
movie,
book,
just
any random
anything
blade
at all.
of grass.
Now,
That
I
tree
mean-
in my front yard.
I consider myself a bit of an emotional person. And the last time I got super invested into a game like The Witcher 3 was Mass Effect 2. The characters in Mass Effect 2 got me, like, I cared about them so much. I beat The Witcher 3 on Monday. I'm not going to spoil anything. I beat The Witcher 3 on Monday, and I woke up Tuesday morning, and I felt like I broke up with my girlfriend of like 10 years. I was sitting there going, oh my goodness. I was like, it's not really a spoiler, but the developers of CD Projekt Red had said that The Witcher 3 is the end of Geralt's story. Not the end of the universe, the end of his story. And, you know, that doesn't mean anything bad happened to him at the end of the game. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that when you finish someone's story, you've read the books, you've played all the games. I beat it, and I was like, I am so upset that this is over now. And I'm sitting there, I'm constantly looking at the Witcher Reddit. I just want more of it so bad.
Right.
But, that was the one thing about this game that really got me. I was shocked at how emotionally invested I was into this game.
It's like you woke up that morning and your wife went beside you in bed.
Well, I mean, if I was married, that's probably how I would feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was like devastating. I'm moping around all day Tuesday, and I'm just like, this sucks. I was like, oh man. But
So I guess with that we know with any DLCs it won't include Geralt's story.
Well, no, I know one of the DLCs that's coming out in October. It's actually opening up a new region called Toussaint, I think. Don't know if that's post-game or mid-game DLC. They haven't said yet, but it's a new region coming out, and you're still going to play as him. But,
It could even be mid-region, because if you played any of The Witcher 2, they released DLC as time went on, and almost everything was mid-game, like... Everything you got was mid-game. Like, you got it mostly at, oh, crud. I want to say Loch Modan, because I'm thinking dwarves, and that automatically makes me think World of Warcraft.
Oh, Loch Muin.
Loch Muin. Yeah. It was right before that.
Loch Muin was the third act. The second act was, the battle camp and something else.
All I remember is Lesbomancy.
Yes.
I love those dwarves.
My favorite kind of magic, lesbomancy. But
and that solidified my love of dwarves right there. I'm just like,
no, I mean, no one knows when the next Witcher game is going to come out, because they're working on a game called Cyberpunk 2077, which they're not even going to talk about until 2017. So picture maybe 5 years after that, and maybe we'll hear about the next Witcher game. But then think about it. What is a Witcher game without Geralt?
Yeah.
You know, I will say this. Witcher had this game. Everyone knows me. My favorite single-player game is Skyrim, and I just saw Khajiit walk through my thing. It's kind of fun. You guys, I know you can't watch it right now because I'm recording this. You'll have to go back and watch this on YouTube afterwards, because I just see this Khajiit walk across and then get scared by the door and run away. I can see it through because I'm watching it while I'm recording. It's funny. Skyrim is obvious. Now I play MMOs, and those are my primary. I don't even consider single player games in the same realm as MMOs, because they're not. But my favorite single player game is Skyrim. Was Witcher 3 has a very good chance, and I'm still playing through it. Has a very good chance of taking over that. But one of my, I want to say concerns, or not concerns, but thing that would have made it more special for me, and Thais will listen to this and yell at me, I like creating me in the world. And now, don't get me wrong, I love Geralt. I love him.
He is an amazing character, but I totally agree with you.
I would go gay for Geralt. I would.
Wow.
Putting it out there.
Sorry, Thais.
Yeah, no, seriously. I love Geralt.
I know, he's wicked.
But in an RPG, I like to create my own character. And in further Witcher series, maybe we will get to do that.
Maybe. But the emotional attachment will not be there. I don't think it'll be there.
Without the voice acting, it would be kind of tough.
I mean, like, the stories they've pulled off in all three games have been phenomenal stories surrounding Geralt. Mm-hmm. They would have to come up with a story that good for your personal character.
Well, the thing is, a lot of it centers on Geralt.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you can make an emotional story, but you have to play it almost more through the secondary characters rather than the primary character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ciri.
No, screw Ciri. I want Triss.
What? No.
We're gonna grow up Ciri, though. She's gonna grow up.
She is grown up. Nothing beats. Don't mess with my Triss.
I mean, Ciri can't be a love interest, but
he sees her as his daughter.
Yeah.
But she's gonna. Well, if it's the end of him, we're gonna. she's gonna grow up.
No, Triss.
You got to beat the game. All right, so
you saw the trailer that was released for Witcher 3, which was the Night to Remember. Do you know what the #1 rated comment on YouTube was? My love of redheads is gonna get me killed one day.
Okay,
That's
so
me.
You know what's funny is after reading all of the books and playing all the games. All right, I'm sorry. After reading all the books, you are going to want to romance Yennefer. 100%.
Yeah, Yennefer, I know.
Because if you read the books, that's how it goes. If you've only played the games, you're gonna want Triss. Now,
Yennefer, it's meant to be.
It's only meant to be because there's a. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but it's spoiling something for a 15-year-old book, but it's a spell.
Older than that. I think the first one was released the year I was born in, like 86.
No, the Last Wish book was released in 93.
Oh, I'm talking about the first set of short stories by the author was released in 86.
Oh wow! But yeah, the reason why the two of them are in love is because Geralt actually used a wish. Long story short, he used a wish from a genie on the two of them to be condemned to each other forever.
Right.
So they have an extremely toxic relationship. But the thing is, though, she's the type of person in a relationship with where if she says something nice about him, it means that much more. Whereas Triss, she says it all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a.
I get
It's kind of all right. This is how I picture it. Yennefer is a mature woman, and Triss is a college girl.
Right.
But she's hot and
I
a
agree.
redhead.
Ag, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you this right now.
Hot too.
I'm going to tell you this right now. There's 3 romance options in the game: Triss, Yennefer, and them both. Kind of, but I can't spoil that because you have to experience that for yourself.
Oh, so you can't tell us the third.
So my first playthrough, I wanted to romance Yennefer, and which means I had to turn down Triss all the time. And I felt you might have to bleep this out, but I felt like the biggest asshole telling Triss no. Because she put this expression on, and I was like, oh my god, I feel like such an asshole right now. And, then you see Yennefer, and she's like, oh yeah, that's great. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes, she treats you like a jerk.
I feel special now.
Yeah. But then there's the points when you see Yennefer actually cares about you, and it means that much more when she actually does care about you.
Again, not to spoil a lot, but if you played Witcher 2, they talk a lot about when he's trying to regain his memory, seeing things of Yennefer protecting him, getting lost with the Wild Hunt. I know that's why that's a big part of the story. The Wild Hunt being that ghastly group of ghostly, I think they're elves, that are hunting them down. And it's one of those things where they hint at it. Like, you see in Witcher 1, you see that the guy you've seen in all the trailers.
The King of the Hunt.
Yeah, you see him in a basement in Witcher 1, and he's going, I'm going to get you. I'm going to find you. You can't stop me. Like, it's really creepy. But you see him in Witcher 1. Now, you don't really see him at all in Witcher 2 except through some drawn cut scenes and stuff that they allude to it. But he's available from the very first game. And there's something going on because he's like, yeah, you did something. You took something from me, or you owe me something, and I will collect payment. And it's like, ooh. And so I know it's all tied in there, and I know there's a history with Yennefer, especially after Witcher 2 focuses heavily on Triss. Yennefer doesn't even come in till Act 3.
No, Yennefer's not even in the game.
No, but she's barely mentioned until the end. Like in the very first part, she's not even mentioned.
I'm running into Yennefer all the time.
In 2.
Oh,
in
okay.
2, she was barely mentioned until he starts regaining some of his memories near end of Act 2, beginning.
You know what's funny is the relationship. It's actually a relationship triangle because Triss and Yennefer are like best friends, and they're both sleeping with Geralt. Now, this made me question how sane Triss is. Okay. Very early on in Witcher 3, you find out from Yennefer that she regained her memory back within a month of whatever happened. with the help of mages. Why did Geralt take years with Triss by his side all the time, and she was sleeping with him the whole time, and he didn't remember Yennefer at all?
Yeah, because she's got something over him. There's a pull there.
She could help him regain his memory, but she didn't, presumably.
Yeah.
And I think she just is that psychotic about him that she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a little bit of a side tangent.
I need to get more into Witcher, but my problem is, just like Skyrim, I want to focus on the main quest, but I also get distracted by shiny flower. Ooh, flower.
A little tip is the secondary quests will greatly affect the main story. And not doing the secondary quests could also be good or bad. So,
okay, well, I have a major question.
Okay.
Is shiny flower worth it? Because I do it all the time too.
Wait,
flowers.
Oh, I mean, you don't need a ton of flowers. The good thing about the potion and bomb system in The Witcher 3 is once you create that, you have it.
Yeah, I noticed that. No, I don't know how I feel about that, because I liked having to make more of them.
Well, so the thing is, you have it, and you can use like 3 of them or whatever, and you're out of them. You have to meditate for at least an hour, and you'll regain it back.
Alcohol or something.
If you have alcohol on you.
Oh,
at first, I didn't like it, but it kind of grew on me because I was like, I don't like making 1,000,000 potions every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that why even bother collecting flowers eventually?
You upgrade them. All the potions can be upgraded a lot, where you're going to need more stuff. But there is a lot of flowers, though. Like
more flowers than you would possibly need for upgrades.
Way more. Yeah.
In Skyrim, you get 1,000,000 flowers, you can make 1,000,000 pots. In this game, you collect 1,000,000 flowers, you use 100,000 of them, and then you got 900,000 sitting around doing nothing. I guess you could sell them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like,
they're barely worth anything.
Yeah, they're like a penny for 5.
Now, have either of you played Gwent yet?
Oh, I love Gwent.
Gwent is amazing.
That needs to be released on my iPhone as like just an outside mobile game. Just like Hearthstone, but for Gwent.
Yeah.
But I'm good at it.
I love Gwent.
You gotta it's insanity. Like my first playthrough, I played like 3 games of Gwent, and I was just buying cards whenever I had them. And then it was like defeat the Baron, this guy called the Baron in Gwent, and you fight him, and he just annihilates you. It took me an hour and a half to beat this guy in Gwent, out of complete luck, because he just had to not get these certain cards. It was. I love Gwent so. I mean, I miss the dice game, but I love Gwent.
Yeah.
So like maybe tomorrow or something, we could do a let's play, and you guys could help me with Gwent.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm
down for that. I love Gwent.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because I understand the gist of it, but I'm no good at it. So.
It's one of those things where you have to play with forethought.
Mm-hmm.
Because like sometimes when you're laying down your cards, you're like, yeah, if I keep laying down cards, I can beat him. But sometimes it's better just to accept your fate. Let him waste a bunch of cards.
You got to remember, you got to beat your opponent in 2 rounds.
2 out of 3.
So you don't want to blow all your good cards in the first round.
Yeah.
Like a super random tip is, I have spy cards. Spy cards will go on your opponent's side, give him points against you, but you also draw 2 cards from your deck. Mm-hmm. So what I always do is say I got 2 spy cards. In my first round, I'll throw both of them out, and I'll try to waste useless cards to make him waste good cards. Yeah. And then I'll let him win the first round. Yeah. And then I'll have a ton of cards.
He'll have like 3 cards, and he'll
have
8.
A few less.
No matter how many he throws out, you can always win.
Yeah, you should have a lot more cards.
And the game keeps telling me that.
You can also use decoys, which will allow you to take 1 card back for every decoy.
You can't take your spy back, though. You can only...
No.
If he used a spy on you, you can take it back.
Yeah, no. You don't do the spy, but like you can force him to try to... Like if you had a really powerful card, like one that was like 12 damage points or something like that. Throw that down and then throw a decoy at the end of the round. You can pick the 12 up and use it later. So you could throw the 12 down in the first round, try to make him throw a whole bunch of his cards to get above you, and then use the decoy and pull it back and have that 12 for later.
Are the weather cards really worth playing?
They're wonderful.
I personally, I don't use them.
I do.
I only have clear sky cards.
Yeah.
Oh, I like them. It's one of those things, depends on what your deck is. If you look and you have like mostly ranged or something and he has mostly melee, if you don't have anything in that row, throw it down.
So, I mean, my special cards, usually it's 2 clear skies, 2 battle horns, and 2 decoys.
Yeah, battle horns are great.
And the battle horns double the damage of whatever row you place it in, which is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But,
you're doing a... high, if you'd like you say, if you have a 12.
8, 24.
12, yeah, maybe 20. The only thing is, special cards don't work for the hero cards, which kind of sucks.
Okay, so explain to me your hero.
Say you have Vernon Roach. Vernon Roach is a hero card. He has a bunch of spikes around his damage. He does that damage. Nothing affects him. Negative things do not affect him. Positive things do not affect him. You can't use a decoy on him. He does what he does. That's it. So any card that has like the little spikes around them is a hero card, and they can't be affected by positive or negative things.
But they're helpful for if someone has a negative weather effect. You can throw them down and still get their full benefit.
Right, and if you have a medic card, you cannot pull a hero card out of your discarded pile. Once they're discarded, they're gone for the game.
It's gone for the game until the next round, or if that's the end of the round.
No. Well, until the next game. The rounds don't reset your cards.
Yeah.
Oh. See,
well,
I've been reluctant to pass. That's probably partly why I suck at Gwent. Because I just want to.
She tries to blow all her cards up at front.
I do, yeah. So, yeah, I need to get over that because at first I was thinking, well, they reshuffle and you're going to get my cards back, but that's not true.
The only way you can gain a card is if you have a medic card that you drop. You can pull a card out of your discard pile, or if you're playing as Temeria and you win the round, you'll get a free card. Those are the only ways you can get cards.
Or spies.
Yes,
or spies. Yeah, spies.
Right. Okay, so you just want to pass, because if you pass a lot...
The idea is to get them to blow more than you have without wasting your good cards.
The thing is, once you pass, you're passing for the entire round. You don't get... Like, when you pass, it's not... Like, he doesn't go, then you go again. It's that you pass, you're done. You're saying, I'm done with this round, and you'll lose or win.
Yeah. All right. We're going to end that one there because we could go on about Gwent forever. And we're nearing the end of this one. So that was Witcher 3, guys. All excited about that.
Hype.
So good. Emotional. Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. This is our first Dungeon Crawler Network podcast. This will be the end, actually. We're going to call it here. We're going to try to do this every month to let people know what we're doing over at DCN and to try to give you some game news. This month, I will say...
And like Ag said, it's going to be under an hour. Right?
I would have if we didn't get into Gwent.
Mm-hmm.
Thais actually was messaging me a minute ago going, hey, we're almost done, and it's only just a little over an hour. And then we talked about Gwent. That's why I had to say, no, we're cutting it. So this is it. There is something special about this month, though. After this episode goes live, probably about a week later, we have a special interview with the gentleman over at Ferocity Unbound, makers of Sacrament, which is a new indie-developed MMO, and you should definitely go check it out. But I have almost like a 2-hour interview with these guys, and it was amazing. It was fun, and they have a lot of good information. So you can head over to their website, look around it, and then listen to the interview and get a lot more information about this game that they're trying to develop, and hopefully get your interest up and make you want to go over and help support them out, because it's really cool. All right, guys, we're gonna go around and give our final thoughts for the show, like we always do, and then we'll sign off. Make sure you let everyone know where they can find you. And Crabby, why don't you go first?
Oh man, I had a lot of fun doing this tonight. I'm actually excited to do this every month. I've something tells me I might be talking about The Witcher again next month, but I don't know. And for anybody watching on video, Sonny, what is with the sunglasses?
Oh my gosh,
I get a pair of sunglasses. Should I just put them on and take them off every 5 minutes? Like, is it a thing to do?
These are not sunglasses. These are gunners.
Oh, those are gunners. Now, do those help with eye strain?
Yeah, I get headaches without them. Major headaches. Okay. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I was just curious about that.
Yeah, and that's why they look weird. I wish they were sunglasses.
No, she's just trying to be stylish.
Just every 5 minutes. Yeah, what's up? Yeah,
They're goofy looking. If they were sunglasses.
No, you kind of got that geek chic thing going on, and that's popular now.
Okay, well I'll take that, but I feel really geeky in them because they're like this big.
It's geek chic. You got it. I'm surprised I even know what that is.
I actually hate them, but thank you. Take that.
All right, Crabby, where can people find you?
Well, I've been making some random videos for the Dungeon Crawler Network YouTube. My next one is probably going to be a Witcher 3 Sweet FX one, which is slightly different than regular games. You can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Crabby654. And yeah, that's it. That's it for me.
Thais.
Egg.
Hey, final thoughts.
This is a lot of fun. I cannot wait to do it next month, and I know for sure I'm going to be talking about Final Fantasy XIV again. I already have it planned out in my head.
You'll have to tell us about how the release goes and how everything works out.
It's Final Fantasy. They're like, Yoshi P is perfect. It's going to be like the smoothest launch ever.
Well, we hope so. I think Yoshi P seems to know what he's doing, but I mean,
there was no server problems.
That's why they fired the other guy or made him commit.
There was no server problems when A Realm Reborn came out, right? No realms were locked or anything, right?
Oh. I think you couldn't even get in for days.
I couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't either. It was like
hey,
a
I
week
can have
till
high
I could
hopes.
get in. Just throw my cat around.
It was so much fun though, especially listening to what everyone else enjoys outside of our original podcast. I think that was the most interesting thing about this podcast. So I really liked it.
Sonny.
Hi. I think this is just you can't have any more fun than gaming shop talk. Crabby, you and I are gonna have a fight about Witcher next month.
Oh yeah.
About who's gonna. We do need to get more into gaming news about it, about like I don't know, gear and crafting and things like that. So.
Yeah, we had to budget our time a little bit better with the Witcher, I think.
It was fine up until Gwent.
Yeah.
And I like Gwent. We should just do a show on Gwent. But
yeah. So I look really forward to doing the next one. I love this, and I say we do it more than once a month, but and we
possibly have some other things coming, so
that's true. But the most fun is when you cut the reel and what we talk about afterwards. So keep
We're still somewhat of a family show. This one doesn't quite have the same rating as Tales, but
oh, good. I don't have a shirt on. Oh man,
my shirt right now is Mario.
I love that shirt, by the way.
Did you see me playing with it earlier when they were talking?
Yeah, wasn't too sure what you were doing. Actually,
I just had the idea of making him jump.
This is definitely not a family-friendly show.
What I should have did is went and got the cat box that looks like a square and held it up here and made him jump up and kick it.
We're totally family friendly.
Absolutely. All right. Obviously, I'm Aggelos. You can find me on DungeonCrawlerNetwork.com. That's where all my information is on Twitter, all that fun stuff. Follow us at DungeonCrawlNet for Twitter and on YouTube, which is youtube.com/C. I don't know why they added that in there. /DungeonCrawlerNetwork. It's a channel. It's their new way of doing it now. I don't know. And twitch.tv/DungeonCrawlerNetwork. Obviously, these are all pre-recorded. We're not really doing live shows for these ones yet. I don't know if we will. Who knows? But it's fun anyway. So check it out. Definitely, if you're listening to the audio version on iTunes, you should check out the live version as well. You'll get to see me play with my Mario shirt.
And me take my glasses off.
And Sunny take her glasses off every 3 seconds.
I'm not used to them. I need to be, though.
Excellent. So definitely come back next month. Also remember, later on this week, watch episode 2, or listen to episode 2, which is the Sacrament game interview, and definitely go check them out. All right, guys. See you later.
Bye.